We're doing the MiDici finish. We're starting with a wall that's been primed with our finish primer, 100% coverage. This is the first coat of Antiqua.
And on the first coat, you want to trowel it tight. You want to hear the noise of your trowel.
So 100% coverage?
100% coverage. And then, once we get done, we're going to float it out. And this will have to dry for 24 hours before you can attempt to put your second coat on. So basically we have the first coat on. On the job site, then I would use a green float for a small sample. I'm just using a sponge.
So do you wait before you float it?
No, you want to float it right away because you want to make it real coarse. If you wait too long, you won't get that coarseness that was approved on the sample. So that's kind of the look that you're looking for on your first coat. Okay, so the first coat's been applied, it's dried for 24 hours, now I'm going to come back on my second coat. And what they want is they want a cat face finish, and they want the cat faces to be medium. You'll see
So cat face meaning voids in the finish?
cat faces are void in the finish. It's a very popular finish throughout the western states. But do is try to get your pattern going. Once you get it kind of going, you just kind of start creating it, closing it up.
So you'll start with bigger voids and then you can close them up.
I'm going to bring them down a little bit to what the designer approved. A fairly easy finish to do. You just got to kind of keep a consistent pattern going on with it.
Do you want to mist water in between coats?
No. On this particular finish, water will make the texture flatten down. This here you want to stand up and get a little more depth. So, and then, as you can see, pretty much done. And that's the finish that they're looking for.
Do you trowel it down any smoother at any point?
No, we want to leave it just a little bit coarse.
With the chatter?
Chatter. Then we're going to let this dry for 24 hours. Then we're going to put a sealer on top and then a wax on top of that. Now the walls have been drying for 24 hours, so I'm going to come back with a sealer, an acrylic sealer, and spray it evenly.
Is it diluted with any water?
Not diluted at all. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to take a sponge, kind of get 100% coverage, and I'm going to go back over places that it didn't penetrate into.
If you're working a wall, do you start from the bottom up?
On this sealer, especially on white, it's a good idea.
Okay.
So just have a guy spraying and another guy follow with a sponge, clean sponge.
Okay.
And then once you're 100% coverage, now let it dry for about 8 hours. And then we're going to put a Cheradarte wax on it. And that'll give it twice the protection.
So does it have to dry? It just needs to dry for at least 8 hours, but it could dry more than that.
Right, just because of the depth of the sample.
Okay.
If it was a flat surface, you wouldn't have to.
Right.
Now we're going to use the Cheradarte wax. And we're going to use this clean sponge. We're going to apply it with a sponge.
How long is the sealer dried?
The sealer has been dried for 8 hours before application. So when you're applying this wax into the crevices of the texture, you really have to massage the wax into the crevices. So once you have 100% coverage, it all evenly 100% covered, then you want to do is come back with a clean rag, wipe off the excess wax. And then it'll dry because it's got a sealer on it. It'll be slow drying, and I would look between 4 to 5 hours where it's 100% dry.
Okay, so it takes about how long?
4 to 5 hours.
Okay.
Because it's sitting on top and it didn't absorb into the plaster because the sealer wouldn't allow that. The sealer wouldn't let the wax penetrate into the plaster, so it should be no longer than 4 to 5 hours before
That's it?
the wax is
the final?
the final one.